So guys, today we're going to be breaking down one of my most commonly imitated skills that I've learned. And I will be teaching you guys how to teach yourself how to break down movements and also how to do this skill at the same time.
So you would think that it requires more flexibility to be here, but it actually requires a great deal of core strength.
Whew, that was some work. We're starting facing this way, feet are shoulder width apart, and we're bringing it down. I want you to shift the weight into the toes and make sure the hamstrings are nice and stretched here. And then when we come into the next skill, we have to get into this nice low squat and reach through and grab the butt. So let's do a couple of these. There we go. We want to really open up those hips so we get nice and low in this squat. And now it's also important, now that we're in the squat, we want to make sure both feet are flat on the floor. For this particular squat, usually the feet are turned out whenever we're in the Usually our feet are turned out whenever we're in a squatting position, but today I want you to make sure that the feet are turned straight forward. So the feet are straight forward. I want you to cross 4 fingers over the outside of your foot and to keep your thumb on the inside of your foot. We want to make sure we get nice and low in this squat. So let's do some alien squats. And in an alien squat, you just bend it forward and drop the chest. Alien squat. There we go. These squat push-ups. Ooh. Yeah, and rep these out for me. There we go. And hold it, drop the chest, open those hips, and drop the hands and lift the butt. Whew. There we go. We're getting all in there. Stretch out those hamstrings a little bit more. Make sure whenever we're in this forward fold that we're pushing back into the hips. So trying to send the hips up toward the ceiling. Next is the reach through and grab, and we're going to take a different approach to understand how to properly do this part. So, as I was saying earlier, this squat, especially our alien squat, is the exact same thing as our happy baby. So let's understand it from this happy baby perspective. But while we're down here, let's open up these hamstrings a little bit more. So first of all, happy baby. Whenever we're on the floor, we're lying on our back. I want you to open the knees and pull the knees straight down to the floor. You want to squeeze the rib cage with the thighs almost. The legs are on either side of the rib cage. We're pulling the knees straight down to the floor. Our toes are pointing straight up to the floor. I don't want you to lift that lower back off the ground. I want you to keep those hips pulled down to the floor. So you really have to engage your core. Keep those hamstrings nice and strong. You don't want the legs pulling straight, not just yet. So right here, we're gonna get into some hamstring stretching. So let's flip our grip. We're grabbing the inside of the feet, keeping the feet flexed. We're gonna extend the legs all the way out for 1 and happy baby. So this is the same thing that we were just doing earlier when we were squatting and standing. Extend and squat and stand. Stick the butt out. You remember when you stand, that butt sends up to the ceiling. Now we're trying to pull that butt down to the floor and squat and stand and rep some of those out for me. Whew. Okay. So now we're here. We're here, stretching out those hamstrings. 5, 4, 3, pull the butt down. 2, 1, and happy baby. Whew. We're still holding this happy baby. Whew. Okay. So now, just like those alien squats, let's work some core. We're gonna curl the chin into the chest and look up through the hips. Take it back to when I was in the stretch and I was letting you guys know that the stretch required a ton of core strength. So we're gonna be strengthening our core, but very abnormally. So we're on our back and we're gonna get into our happy baby. We're pulling those knees down to the floor, pulling that butt down to the floor. And then here we go. We're going to do some crunches in this position. I want you to pull the chin up to the chest and try to get those shoulders to come off the floor. For 1, and down, up for 2. Engage that core. And down, up for 3. Whenever you pull the head through the legs, you're going to have to reach through and really engage that core for the balance on the feet. And down, and up, and really look up and through the legs. You want to take your gaze all the way up to the ceiling while you're standing up on the feet. So it's really important that we're training our cores for some muscle endurance. We have to keep that core engaged for quite a while and bring it down. Now I want you to bring those legs up. We're going to open the legs up into about shoulder width apart. Shoulder width apart, and I want you to flex. This is our next drill. We're going to engage our core, our lower abdominal muscles, and pull those legs back to the floor, holding this V shape. Our legs, this is our next drill for learning this skill. This is our next drill. Our feet are flexed, shoulder width apart. We're engaging the core and the hip flexors and pulling those legs down towards the floor for 1, and up, and 2, and up. Try to keep those legs straight. 3, and up. 4, there we go. Deep stretch, up, and 5, and up. Rep those out. 10, and hold. Reach up. I want you to grab those feet and pull the feet down towards the floor. And then I want you to take the head and look up through the legs. So the legs are straight. They're pulling back to the floor and you're looking up through the legs. Holding and breathing and release. Now we're going to understand how to reach through and really grab the hips. We're going to come back to our happy baby. And it's really important that we worked on that core engagement because I need you to lift up. We're lifting up, looking through the legs. I want you to take that right arm and put that arm right there in the nick of the knee. You're going to take the right hand, reach around and grab your lower back. Take your left arm. You're going to put it right there in the bend of the knee and reach around and grab that lower back. Now we're in that position where we're pulling through the legs, where we would be in our squat. So just like we would be if we were standing, I want you to stand and extend the legs. Extend those legs. Engage your core and reach up and look through the legs. Now we're taking that reclined approach. This is the exact same stretch we're working on. We're just doing it on our backs. We're going to do it on our feet. We're going to do it on our butt in a second. And release. On your butts. So here we are. Meet me here while we're seated. Our feet are about as wide as they would be if we were standing. So up next, I want you to focus on really reaching the chest through the hips. So let's bring the arms up arms up to the ears. We're going to be reaching through the legs, trying to really find that length. You want to bend at the waist. If the back starts to round, now we're losing out on all of that great hamstring flexibility. But also, too, whenever you're bending at the waist or bending forward in general, you want to always try to bring this femur over whenever you're bending forward in general, you want to always reach and try to find that length in the spine and really bend at the waist without rounding the back so much. So the more length we find in our spine, the more length we will find in our hamstrings. And we're going to reach down and grab the feet and really lead with the chest and pull the chest through the legs. And bring it up. Down for 2. And up. And 3. And up. And rep those out. And bring it down and hold. Find that length. I want you to pancake. Again, your feet should be shoulder width apart. They should not be as wide and into a straddle. Whereas standing, your feet should be able to be flat on the floor if you were standing. Your quads are engaged. You're pushing through the heels of your feet. Your feet are flexed because you're standing, remember? There we go, finding that length. I want you to come all the way up. We're going to bend the knees, slight bend in the knees. Reach down, grab the bottom of the feet. Pull the chest through the hips. Reach that right arm under our right leg. And then reach around and grab our back. Then reach our left arm under our left leg and reach around and grab our back. And then we're going to extend. And there you have it on our butts. Time to put it together. So we worked on these hamstrings. We opened up these hips, baby. We've been working on this core. Let's bring it down. We're going to start right here. Whew. Working on our balance. We're going to squat. Bring it down, nice squats. Open up those hips. Get ready. Okay. So now we're going to bring the chest forward like how we did in our alien squat. But when we bring the chest forward, the butt is going to come up a lot higher. Now I want you to get those elbows and try to get the shoulders through the legs. If you can get the shoulders through, that's great. If not, try to get those elbows through, and you want to reach around and grab. You want to get a good grip before you push through and extend. And your feet want to be slightly turned in towards each other. Once you push through and extend, now it's time to really turn on that core engagement. Core, and we're looking up, and the legs are extending, the quads are engaged. Really engaging that core and finding that length. Pulling through the legs. Thighs hugging the rib cage just like how they did in that happy baby. Whew. Baby, that was some work. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Yes. If you have a lot of work to do, then make sure you study this video, watch it as many times as possible. If you got it already, baby, send me a video, tag me, girl. Bye.